Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on why men subscribe to the red pill theory. So why do men subscribe to the red pill theory? Why are they staunch believers of the red pill theory? Why are they ardent, fervent, zealous believers of the red pill theory? Why are they avid, avowed, devout, hardcore believers of the red pill theory? Why do they never renege on their beliefs? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. Lamentably, much to my dismay, much to my consternation, much to my chagrin, much to my distress, much to my agony, and much to my grief, men erroneously believe the fallacy of the red pill theory. They subscribe unconditionally to this false narrative because it gives them a false sense of hope. It allows them to draw forth an optimistic outlook in terms of their prospects in the dating world. Men want to be able to be successful in the dating world if they are interested in getting married or forming a long-term relationship for some peculiar reason. So, as per the red pill theory, it essentially posits that by ameliorating, by enhancing, by augmenting, by significantly improving mutable qualities about yourself, that you can render yourself all the more attractive to females. However, the folly of the red pill theory is typically obscenely, blithely, egregiously overlooked by most men. They do not understand the undercurrent of the dating marketplace. Females deem men to be attractive if they possess a tall height in tandem with an attractive face. If a man is lacking those aforementioned highly desirable, highly covetable physical attributes, and females will deem them to be unattractive. It is lamentable, it is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Much to my consternation, much to my chagrin, much to my grief, much to my dismay, much to my agony, much to my distress, men erroneously subscribe to the red pill theory, and they just squander, they hemorrhage, they fritter away so much of their sacrosanct, indispensable, finite, precious time following this false theory. They should never subscribe to a false ideology. It does not make a modicum of sense. Something too idealistic is typically not aligned with reality. As per the red pill theory, men subscribe to it because it gives them a false sense of hope. It allows them to believe that if they were to ameliorate their mutable qualities, such as their personality, their muscle mass, their rhetoric, their charm, their charisma, their social skills, and their personality, that they would have a significantly higher likelihood, and they'd be at a significantly higher probability of being successful in the dating market and being deemed all the more attractive to females. The grim, bleak, dismal reality of the situation is that, in spite of the merits of a man's mutable qualities, if he has a short stature in tandem with an unattractive face, he's not going to make headway, he's not going to make inroads in the dating market. However, the caveat to the rule applies when a man is wealthy. A wealthy man who is deemed unattractive may be able to form a marriage or a long-term relationship with a female because females are willing to lower their standards in certain contexts if it can allow them to be furnished with extreme wealth in tandem with a higher standard of living. Females want to be able to have unfettered access to a man's wealth, and they also want to be able to significantly elevate their standard of living. However, if a marriage is not formed on the basis of unconditional, unrequited love, then it has a precarious foundation. Just be wary and just be leery that for the utmost negligible, slightest, trivial, venial, paltry, nonsensical, gormless, ludicrous, minor reason, a divorce can ensue, and that can culminate in a wealthy man paying an enormous divorce settlement in tandem with him paying lifetime alimony payments for decades on end to an ex-wife. So just be wary of that. There should be reciprocity among both parties. There should be mutual respect among both parties and mutual attraction for one another among both parties, ideally. It shouldn't be where one party unconditionally loves the other party and the other party is repulsed by the other party. That's a calamitous recipe for disaster. There should be unconditional love demonstrated among both parties, in which they're willing to retain their marriage through thick and thin, metaphorically speaking. So, red pill men often cannot afford to procure leg lengthening surgery to amplify their height, nor can they afford to procure plastic facial surgery to augment their facial structure. And because of this, if they do not fall within the parameters for being attractive to females as a male, they will delude themselves into believing that the merits of the red pill theory are grounded in reality, even though that cannot be further from the truth. They think that if they attain top-notch rhetoric, and if they become all the more confident, adept, knowledgeable, charismatic, charming, confident, and if they significantly improve their social skills and also obtain sizable, bulky muscles, that they will be deemed all the more attractive to females. However, the reality is that they cannot influence whether or not females deem them to be attractive, and changing these mutable qualities about themselves only has negligible bearing on rendering them all the more attractive to females. But people want to subscribe to an erroneous theory that is not grounded in reality because it gives them a false sense of hope. It allows them to foster an optimistic outlook on their chances of being successful in the dating market. It allows them to boost their self-esteem and boost their confidence and be hopeful and optimistic, and even possibly cultivate an abundance mindset. However, even when you undergo all the requisite measures to manifest an improved version of yourself into reality, if you do not have the physical attributes that females deem to be attractive in males, then your chances of being successful in the dating marketplace are going to be infinitesimal. Females are not willing to overlook a short stature nor an unattractive face. It is unfortunate how judgmental people are, but it is what it is. It's arduous for a man to woo a female, especially if she deems him to be unattractive. But yet again, men should be acutely aware that if they become wealthy, if they're able to generate extreme wealth, then they can form a long-term relationship or a marriage with someone who more than likely will deem them to be unattractive, but will be with them for the hard-earned money. However, females should not form relationships with men to have unfettered access to their wealth. They should do so because they unconditionally love men, but this is not aligned with the realities of the dating world. Females want not only just a highly attractive man, but they also want a wealthy man, and they cannot find a highly attractive man who also is wealthy. Then they'll typically make a concession or a dispensation and be willing to at least possibly take heed of dating or forming a marriage or long-term relationship with a wealthy man who can subsidize their wants, their needs, their desires, their amenities, their luxuries, and their accoutrements of the high life for their lifetime in perpetuity. However, the marriage is not formed on the basis of unconditional, unrequited love, then it has a precarious foundation, and at any given time, unfortunately, can become severed by any party for any venial, trivial, paltry, nonsensical, asinine, gormless, ludicrous, minor reason that can culminate in a divorce and an enormous loss on behalf of the man's dignity, happiness, wealth, time, energy. So I hope that you found this video to be insightful and enthralling. Just to recapitulate, succinctly stated, the abridged version is that men subscribe to the red pill theory because it gives them a false sense of hope, and it's easy to subscribe to a false theoretical narrative because most people cannot handle the truth. They cannot cope with the stress of knowing the truth, and they want to be able to influence whether or not females deem them to be attractive, even though they fail to apprehend that whether or not females deem them to be attractive is out of their control. They lack the requisite physical attributes to be deemed attractive by females, then females will not deem them to be attractive. They're only looking for men who have an attractive face in tandem with a tall height. So it is what it is. Men should not overlook the grim, bleak, dreary, drab, dismal realities of the dating market. Only a niche cohort of men possess a tall height above 6 foot 2 inches tall barefoot, as well as an aesthetically appealing face. So it is what it is, but I hope that you found this video to be intriguing and enthralling. You should just accept reality for what it is and not try to distort your view of reality by subscribing to these false theories that are theories of folly that are not aligned with the realities of the modern day world. Once again, I hope that you found this video to be captivating, mesmerizing, engrossing, and of course informative. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.